Hello, it's Saturday, the 22nd of January 2022. All the twos combined together, we've got number 10, the manifestation. And this is the wave spell yellow seed that's going to take us into the yellow castle. This is the way out of the center of the Tzol Kin. And at the moment, we are in a waning moon, building up to a new moon at the end of the wave spell. And again, that new moon is going to be in Aquarius at 12 degrees. We're in Aquarius sun now, and feeling that energy, feeling that vibration begin to rise as we move from Capricorn Earth to Aquarius air. We've got 2 days to gather ourselves ready for the 10 akashic record. So it's going to be another intense time during this waning, letting go period, and seeing what seeds are being revealed within us, what is coming up to the surface. And it's a time of year when we are moving towards the spring equinox in March. And in between, we will be having in bulk fire in the belly on the 1st of February, and that is when it will be the new moon as well. So lots happening, magical time, and we're being unveiled very much as to our magnificent star-seeded beings. Yellow seed planet is Jupiter. We've got Jupiter in Pisces at 4 degrees. And so again, this is about self-existing, expansion, going into getting clear and ready to work with deeper energy now, with that North Node in Taurus, showing us the way to the goddess, practical, grounded ways of being. As if by magic, I have my calendar. Okay, so here we are. We're still in the blue. Like I said, today, Saturday, tomorrow, Sunday, we've got these 2 days before we go in to the 10. So you can guarantee that there's going to be something going on in your vicinity, because this is the way out. The portals are all stacked up with akashic, family, ancestral pattern dynamic. And they run right the way down until penultimate day with blue crystal eagle. And then we complete with yellow cosmic warrior. So it's going on a journey from being the star seed to what needs to shift on our warrior heart path. How do we become more aligned with our higher self, our higher being, our higher consciousness that's on board? And in terms of Mercury, we have Mercury in retrograde at the moment in Aquarius. So we're going back over old mindsets, for example, old groups, old vibrations, seeing old stories, and how we want to work with those energies, how we want to become a master, because yellow seeds planet Jupiter. So as I mentioned, Jupiter being in Pisces at 4 degrees, how do we create mastery now? And just to complete, if you haven't seen my 64 DNA, so we're coming out the other side. So we have been in the 0, 7th column, ground zero. Then we're now in the 8th column. And by the time we get to blue hand, we'll be going in again So again, if you know how to work out your codes, so for me today I am 5. So 5, 6, 7, 8 is going to be very significant for me by the time we get to blue self-existing hand. And blue self-existing hand is going into how we shape our destiny. And if you go back to the red castle, that's where we had blue hand. And blue hand was the transformation 13-day process, which we just had blue monkey as Red Serpent's 52-day process of transformation, 13 days of getting clear of our old childhood issues, maturation process, parenting ourselves so we can become transparent, so we can get back in touch with our divine inner child, free and clear of triggers and harm. And so this process again will show you where you are, what needs transformation, and I haven't done everybody in the world's chart, so I don't know conclusively. I haven't done every mind sign, so I don't know conclusively, but from my own personal experience, generally when we get into the yellow castle, it does tend to be focusing on childhood. And so we can look at how we reverse engineer certain things that happen to us through healing, and I use EFT and tapping. And if you'd like to know more, please get in touch with me for a free consultation. And I have a 52-day process coming up to align with Involk. So we'll be starting on the 4th of February, and it will be in the next 52-day cycle of Red Earth, of how we birth the Red Earth. And I've got some really exciting things that I'm planning for then, around focusing on fulfillment, what makes you feel fulfilled. And that's the key, really, understanding that how we feel in the world comes from thoughts that we think based on experiences that we've had. And often those experiences have been traumatic, they've been flawed in terms of old shadow stories with our ancestral patterning. They have, in particular over the last 2 years, given us an opportunity to really get in touch with what we value, what we love, truth. What is that? Subjective truth, objective truth, and knowing the difference. This is a profound time for humanity to evolve. It's been designed that way. And the more that you become personally invested in your own patterns and your own codes and how to heal and clear them using what we often perceive as the problem, the trigger, the emotion, the anxiety, the fear state, that is the way through to the other side. It isn't an intellectual process, it's a heart process, it's about the spirit. And now is an amazing time, just as we're coming up to spring, and we're going to be starting the solar wheel again on the 20th of March. We go into Aries and the equinox and begin that journey in the outer world again. If you're a woman and you're familiar with the Persephone story, then this can be very significant for you, particularly if you've got strong Taurus energy, Scorpio energy, so significant planets there in your chart. If you've got North Node in Taurus, if you've got South Node in Scorpio, or the reverse, all of those times are really important now. So we're repeating what happened back in 2003, which was just before the Venus transit in 2004, which only happens once every something years. I can't remember the exact date, but we won't see it again in our lifetime. So it was a profound time, 2004, for the Venus transit. Just Google it, check it out. So today we got the cards, which are Polarity. So again, Polarity, duality, looking at lunar, which is always day 2. So this will be tomorrow. And tomorrow we have got Red Lunar Serpent. So if we go back to the calendar, at the beginning of this 52-day cycle, which was here, we were going down and opening, going into the center of the Tzol Kin. So we had the 10 akashic record there. So this whole 52-day process is about Red Serpent. Add those together, you've got number 7, the mystic, going higher. Number 7, Mayan sign, is blue hand. Blue hand is the key for shaping our destiny. So we're learning how to heal, we're learning how to use our hands to shape things, plant seeds, for example, build houses, make beautiful things, make food, healing touch, massage, energy healing, and to be on planet Earth and feel safe on planet Earth, which of course at the moment a lot of people don't, and they haven't done for thousands of years, which in the beginning would often be around natural causes, and over time that has grown as our experience as a human being on surviving on planet Earth, practical grounded things, also things that come out of the blue, things like asteroids, meteorite hits, wars now, things that human beings do to own the earth and to plunder the earth, and how that has affected every sentient being on Gaia. So we've had a long time of learning as human beings on a cellular level, and now we have the ability to learn from the emotional story that has come from these experiences. And that's what Lunar is all about. So day 2 is about Lunar, it's about the duality, it's about the emotional story that knocks us off kilter, that makes us feel afraid. Our mother's story, our ancestral pattern story, going right back to the beginning of time. And of course, we all emulate that in different ways because different genes are expressed with each family, each person in that family. And of course, we're affected by our environment as well, and how we're parented and how safe our caretakers feel. So all of that is really important. Behavioural conditioning, and of course things in the Western society now are very manipulative and swayed by lots of different angles around directing people and how they live, harnessing their power, harnessing their energy, and how they choose to work and use that energy on every level. So it's an important thing to become very aware about. The card today from Thoth is the universe, and this is an amazing card, number 21. So the universe is open to us on many levels, and we come to play a role as well as playing our soul. Today we have got the moon is at 0 degrees of Libra, and we don't have a sigil for that. So I'm going to use Libra at 1 degrees, which is a group of fat Italian ladies preparing bread. Archetypal, universal and diffuse allegiances, activities and realms of experience, becoming camouflaged perfectly by adopting a persona that is wondrously engaging and easily connected with. Putting it on a bit heavy, thick grease paint. You exult in getting away with seeming to be the world's most anonymous person. The disguise can stick to the face. Overt consciousness awash in mass identification. At times you are able to penetrate through and find open possibilities, but you're primarily engrossed in the outer and alive to the advertised sensations of what it is like to be popular, well received, and simply welcome wherever you go as part of the mix and no problem at all. So Libra is the time of the autumn equinox on the 23rd of September, when Persephone goes down into the underworld and she returns at the spring equinox in Aries on the 20th of March. And so we're now at that time of the year where we've been down in the underworld for a while, particularly if you're in the Northern Hemisphere and if you're in parts of Europe, for example, in England. It's very, very cold now, but the light is returning since the solstice. So every day we get a little bit more light, and I absolutely have always loved this time of year because I actually count the light increasing every day, and I used to drive my kids batty with that, saying, oh, it's another 5 minutes today, you know, and give an exact time of when it was still light. So I love that. And I've started planting seeds literally. I started getting excited about the growing season this year and just loving that energy of optimism. I always see it's a very optimistic time of the year to see your bigger picture, to rise up and look at the 11th house. Traditionally is connected to Aquarius groups, and also in the Mayan, of course, dissonance, spectral, what needs to be released, to be let go of, and starting to focus on what you want to manifest this year. So remember, the next cycle coming up is going to be in Taurus. And so we're looking at what mindsets to have now in order to manifest what we want to come to fruition in Taurus. And again, Taurus is such a lovely time of year. It's perfect, the beginning of summer, spring, depending on each year, of course. A really beautiful time when all the plants are starting to come out, and it's joyous, just really, really joyous time of year. So let's check out the universe card and see what's in store. Okay, so as always, we have got healer Eli Tarot strikingly.com that I use. Fabulous resource. And these cards say so much when you look at them. You look at all the depth in there. They really are amazing, amazing cards. So this is the feminine complement to the Fool. And meaning the T cross. So again, in translating that over to the Mayan, that can also be seen as white wind, which is spirit. And this card is a complement to the Fool, which means essence. So the beginning, and the universe is the completed end that will go back to zero. So everything came from no thing, everything will return to no thing. And it refers this letter refers to the planet Saturn. So with yesterday, what happened for you yesterday is that's always a good place to look at. The shift day yesterday, which was all about what needs to shift for us as a conscious dreamer, and Blue Knight and Yellow Warrior are Saturn ruled, Saturn planet. So again, it's interesting that by the time we get to the end of this particular 13-day process, that is also ruled by Saturn, because that's Yellow Warrior. So they're twinned together. All the Mayan signs have 2 signs with the same planet. Okay, so I'm going to skip through, and if you want to check out, there's so much on there. So when the universe or the world card is thrown during a reading, the querent is experiencing the matter itself, a synthesis of world and kingdom. The universe card usually denotes the actual subject of the question. This interpretation depends entirely on the accompanying cards, as they are the stars in her heavens. This is a card of wholeness, where the querent's whole world is balanced and is building in the next 21 weeks new internal and external worlds, perspectives of wholeness. So understanding their reason to be. Are you understanding your reason to be right now? So remember that Red Serpent, the 52-day process that we're in, was about understanding how we do relationship, how we've learned to do relationship, the asteroid belt, Kundalini rising, and where our body shows us where our energy is blocked. And so we've got all the information now from the other 2 52-day processes. So we began on the 1st of September with Red Dragon. Then we had Red Skywalker, then Red Serpent. And so the next one that we go into will be Red Earth, and what's coming to light about where we are, birthing the new Earth, and how we feel on planet Earth. So the challenges that we've been through over the last 2 years, and many places now experiencing different shifts around the globe, different countries doing different things. So in the UK, lots of things changing there, with cessation of a lot of previous rules and frameworks. So that's going to be an interesting time to watch what happens there. Okay, so let's have a look what's coming up. So today, as I said, Saturday, January 22nd, 2022, we've got all the 2s. So what's manifest in our yellow seed potentiality? How authentic are we being? How are we being our starseed self rather than our conditioned mind self of our culture and our ancestors? So the more that we heal, the more that we release ourselves from coping mechanisms of not being authentic, of what that means in our life when we're not being the real us, if you will. Whatever that is, you know, that's often hard to quantify, isn't it? Then on Sunday, tomorrow, January the 23rd, we've got the Sun in Aquarius conjoining Mercury retrograde. So they're both at 3 degrees, a new communication cycle for the next 3 months in Red Lunar Serpent. So as I said earlier, going back to what we learned at the start of this 52-day cycle. And Then on Monday, January the 24th, we've got Mars going into Capricorn. So this is an amazing time for getting our warrior mindset into action and being disciplined. So Mars follows in the wake of the sun, putting into action what we have learned, what's been brought to light, as I said in the last video, and white electric world bridger. So it's the day of alchemy, day 3. Day 1 in every 13-day process is magnetic. It's showing us what our attraction is. Regardless of what we may want with our mind, it's what we are actually living, being, what is in our holograph because of our energetic makeup, the resonance in resonant moon, and what is resonating with authenticity and being the beacon of light. So on day 2, tomorrow, we get our answer, our new learning coming in about our emotional story, if we haven't already got that today. And on day 3, we can alchemize those 2 days, day 1 and day 2. And we can see what our words, our thoughts that created that magnetism, if that makes sense to you as a magical manifestor, a conscious creator. So that could be worlds gone by. So for example, my grandfather on my dad's side, so my paternal grandfather, he was a white world bridger, day 8, white galactic world bridger, which is the day before my Mayan sign. So what came before that was in his genetic makeup, that was passed on to my dad, which was passed on to me. And that's the first portal day on Monday. So powerful day for getting your warrior mindset on and for getting down to do the work. So again, Capricorn energy is that little goat that's climbing up the mountain, taking those little steps. And so we need to be disciplined, we need to be determined to keep that energy going and for our resonance to be resonating with truth and to be doing our healing work. Then, as I mentioned earlier, on Tuesday, we go into the 64 DNA and I'll be creating another ebook for that. So if you'd like to know more, I will make a video as well. And so focusing on blue self-existing hand, giving more detail about that and how it cross-pollinates over throughout the Tzol Kin. So it's a portal of akashic record. So again, look out, things will be happening around shaping our destiny. On Wednesday, again, portal day and DNA. Mercury retrograde and still in Aquarius now goes into Capricorn. So we'll be going back over old ground around the patriarchy and mindsets, discipline, chop wood, carry water, what our world has been so far with that. On day 6, we've got red rhythmic moon. Again, another portal in a DNA. So I'm just reading from my ebook here. And on Friday, we have got white resonant dog with Friday, January the 28th, with a portal in DNA. So again, what's resonating with our soul tribe. And arguably, you know, that's everybody that's in our world. We're all in this together on one level. And it can also be about what's resonating with our old family pattern and wounding as well. Being a portal in a DNA alchemy, that's one to watch out for. So then we go Saturday, January the 29th, Blue Galactic Monkey. So I'll be integrating the Blue Monkey Wave spell. The, again, portal in DNA alchemy, and Venus goes direct on that day. So Venus is the ruler of blue monkey. And she goes direct at 11 degrees of Capricorn, which again, you know, key for letting go, spectral dissonance. And Mercury is conjunct Pluto at 26 degrees. So again, this is significant around our Persephone past story, our hell story, our where we've had our heartbroken story as a child as well. So the first time that we go into Persephone, that's at around 18 and a half years of age. So whatever was happening for you that was significant then. Sunday, January the 30th, we've got yellow solar human, and that's a burner day for me. So again, how to use these is every 65 days, you get your Mayan sign in its different forms. So every year we go into a different Mayan sign. We have 4 signs in our tribe. So for mine, it is red earth, white wind, blue hand, and yellow human. And because I'm a blue solar hand, whenever it's a solar, which is a gateway day, then every 65 days, that's going to bring up a potentiality for me to be in a different space if I'm burning off these emotional stories. And so by the time we get to January the 30th in yellow solar human, I'll be able to see where I'm at in terms of that journey and what is manifest as a yellow human being. On January the 31st, we've got red planetary skywalker, a portal, and DNA alchemy. And so we're seeing what's manifest then around our ability to be the human being doing this inner work, these changes, changing our DNA. So how is our life feeling heavenly, and what isn't feeling heavenly? What are we there ready to transform? And again, if you work these codes out, if you've done 52 years, then you can see exactly what year that you're working with. And that's what I do with my clients and myself, of course, first and foremost. Thursday, February the 1st is white spectral wizard, and the new moon at Aquarius, 12 degrees at 5:46 a.m. in bulk, fire in the belly, St. Bridget. Beautiful day of connecting to that spring energy and those seeds that are there deep within. So it's like a dark moon time, and we can really meditate on that, of what we're coming to bring fruition to with that goddess energy and the goddess coming through us. And that's the last day of the portal and DNA alchemy. And so it's what's seeking release to let the magic of empowerment flow. Friday, February the 2nd, we've got the actual last portal day with Blue Crystal Eagle. And so what are we getting clear about around being a planetary server? Well, we're getting clear of our own story. And then on Saturday, February the 3rd, we've got Yellow Cosmic Warrior. So we've got an exciting wave spell ahead, and it means we've literally got 13 days now before the next 52-day cycle begins. And so if you'd like more information, or you'd like to ask questions about how this works, and you're interested in getting involved, ideally I'm looking to work with women who are wanting to do emotional healing and shifting and changing and taking full responsibility for where they are on their path. And it's always magical, it's always an amazing time. I'm really passionate about empowerment for women and for us all to step into being our amazing star-seeded selves. It is a challenging time, it's a magical time, and we have everything that we need to create this transformation now. My website is flowwithjo.com, And if you would like a chat with me about how you can learn more about your cosmic codes and how to transform your past story, then please contact me and we can arrange a call. Lots of love. See you soon.